Hello, and welcome back to the Bay of Sins. So we finished off the bay area now, finally. That's this part. This is not a good drawing. Anyway, so we're finished here. We're going to move in over to this area, which I'm fairly sure is meant to be kind of a more... meant to be. That doesn't sound good, does it? It's meant to be a more kind of upscale market area, with the town hall being the centerpiece. Now, unfortunately, the division... it's not at all similar. It's kind of roughly there. This was only ever meant to be a rough sketch. You can only see half. I forgot that I don't have both my monitors on. Sorry about that. But, yeah, since the division has changed rather drastically from what I had envisioned, this is probably going to look a little bit different to that drawing, but that's fine. Now, one thing I should definitely mention is that the only walls for Baytown, I like to call this area Baytown. This is the Bay of Sins itself, but, you know, leave that out. The only actual walls are these ones here that come around on the outside and the checkpoint. These are more just kind of imaginary borders to sort of signify to me where things should be happening, like random events and shit. That said, I'm not really sure what the random events here would be, because muggings are more kind of the thing that's gonna happen over here in the Bay Area itself. Anyway, one thing I'm also considering is, instead of having these over here, bringing buildings like this especially since it's all kind of together and it looks fine, to come and be the nice housing and use actual shacks. Because I forgot you have fairly well-built shacks in this game. It's like, it's Fallout 3 in New Vegas that have really shitty shacks. But the shacks in Fallout 4 aren't too bad. So what I may do at a later date, I probably won't do it now, I'll probably do it when I go back to go and do interiors. Because I've kind of decided that I'm going to do sort of the main bit of each area, like just to get the foundations of it right. And then from there, after I've got all of that set out, I'll come back and do the interiors. I don't know why that would be a hyphen there, but I did. Pre-war may have not been the best thing to search for, but it's so vague, isn't it? I'm looking for pre-war housing, because that's the kind of thing I would like here. Let me see. Let's search house again. God damn it. Alright. A bathhouse. Do we want to have a bathhouse? Should people just live in bathhouses? That sounds great, doesn't it? No, I don't want that. What's this? That's not helpful. That's LOD. Do these look nice? I can never remember. These do look quite nice, actually. They're not a bad size, either. I might use these. Now, since this is meant to be kind of a more upscale market area, there's not going to be stalls so much as, like, proper shops. Oh, that looks fantastic. I like this a lot. That also means that I'm probably not going to have as many. I remember last time just kind of going a bit fucking crazy with the stalls. Shh! I mean, that's fine. We can have a look at the stalls. Look at how many there are. Yeah, there won't be that many shops here. I do want there to be a few, though. Is that a good enough distance? Part of me wants to say, you know, the distance between the wall and this part doesn't matter, because it's very much there to keep people in the bay and out of the main city itself. But because the sheriff is who he is, I suspect that even though, you know, the wall is very clearly there to keep... I'm just repeating myself now. You know what it's there for. I literally just said it. Even though the kind of restriction on how close these are is to keep them away, he'd probably inflict it on everyone, just because he's a bit of a shit. Basically all my characters are kind of shitty. By that, I mean they're terrible people, not that they're badly written. I think they're quite well written, but then again, I'm pretty sure that's what all bad authors say too. So, you know, I guess download the mod when it's finished, judge for yourself. Feel free to leave a comment after you've played it, not just now. If you leave it just now, I'll call you on your bullshit. But, you know, leave a comment and say, fucking, these are terrible characters. The hell are you talking about? And I'll feel very terrible about that. Custom house. This isn't what I think it's going to be. I think I've pulled that model out in almost every stream, and I still don't remember what it's about. That's not going to be useful. I was wondering if that would be good for the Produce Guild, who I don't remember if I've talked about them very much. Am I looking at a schoolhouse sign? Come on. No, I don't remember if I've spoken about them very much, but they're responsible for keeping everybody fed, and they're basically an organization filled with fishermen and people who know about aeroponics. I still haven't looked up that term, so I may be using the wrong term. Enjoy if I am. Let's put a lighthouse in. Perfect. Someone will live on a lighthouse. I'm not going to put a lighthouse in. I don't know. I suppose I'm feeling a little bit sillier than I normally am. But I'm putting a lighthouse in, so you know things are really crazy. Fucking goddamn it. I was sure that there was... I remember seeing this. I don't remember what it was called. But there was a pre-war house that was very nice. And I'm fairly sure it was all one thing. It didn't have to be built up. Right, we don't want ruins. This is still meant to be quite a nice area, so... I'm surprised that there's only, like... what, 3 Covenant houses? Because that was a fairly... well, actually, that was a tiny town, but... it might be okay for the size that we're doing here. I know in the drawing it's very circular. I'm gonna bring the drawing up again. I decided just to fucking open it in photos instead of whatever I was doing last time. Because now you can see my mouse on it. Perfect. I think what I might like to do is try and form a street of some Try and form a street of some description over here. This looks really odd, doesn't it? These don't look like shops at all. I'm not sure what I want to do about that, to be honest. I can't think of any better structures that already exist in the game. Possibly what we can do is get some signs from somewhere and use those to make it more apparent what these structures are. I think I'm going to use these houses though. I think that should be okay. Anyway, I think this area is going to be a lot smaller than I had initially imagined, considering how large this island actually is. Again, the island is bigger than I thought it would be. Actually, I don't know if I should have said again there. I don't know if I've said that before. It's bigger than I thought it would be. But yeah, no, it's a bigger island than I thought I was going to be working with, and as a result, there's kind of a lot of open, empty space. That looks awful, doesn't it? Let's get rid of that. There's a lot of open, empty space, and as a result, I'm not totally sure what to fill it all with. But this will be a smaller area than I had initially planned on, mainly because of the way that the wall has ended up curving, which is fine, you know, not too bothered about that. And what we will do is fill up the rest of it with residential housing. So basically it'll look the same as this, but there won't be people selling you stuff. No, the residential housing will probably look a bit different too. Again, the residential housing may look like this. Haven't decided yet. That's one of the best things about making mods. You can put a load of shit down and then be like, nah, and just get rid of it all. And start again. I'm not gonna do that. Could you imagine? Jesus. Because I'm planning on streaming More, that is, no. I'm planning on streaming more or less, oh that's nice. More or less everything. The only exception possibly being nav meshing and quest making, but I've touched on that before. Oh no, is that closed? That is very unfortunate. I'm okay with the shops being a bit shit since no one actually lives in them. Wow, look at that, that's nice, isn't it? I'm disappointed that these are all closed. That's very sad. Oh well. What do we think about this? Perfect. Fucking, god damn it. A brass plaque, that's not gonna help me very much. Wish I had someone to offer me up synonyms for house. Because right now I'm drawing a complete blank on what else I could be typing in. But, oh well. Shack is literally the only other word that comes to mind, and I don't think that'll give me the kind of houses that I want. Do we want to use some of these, maybe? We could use a large one. I think I will do this, and later on, either when I'm doing interiors or off-stream, you know, now that I've said I'm gonna do pretty much everything on-stream, maybe I'll do some stuff off-stream. But possibly off-stream I will go and change those houses to be shacks. I think that's a better idea. I think that'll fit better. And I can go and track down the, this landscape is not really helping me. Let's show off the landscape editor that I refused to stream because I was like, holy shit, I'll have nothing to talk about. For the record, I didn't. Actually, as I recall, landscape editing basically turned into me swearing a lot, and then eventually this island appearing. Oh, that is not the button I wanted to press. There we go. Hopefully that'll be okay. Move this down a bit too. I should probably be flattening this rather than moving it down. But I have to confess, the flatten tool does not seem to work for me on this island. I'm not entirely sure why. It worked on the previous island I built. I can't remember if I've mentioned the previous island I built. I don't remember everything I've said. But I built another island similar to this, and I put it next to Fort Strong. That's where I originally wanted to put this. And ended up getting rid of it because of invisible walls and LOD issues. Which I'm thankfully not having here. Do I want to put this around like this, maybe? Is that nice? Come to think of it, I have no idea if the spacing on these houses is even, because I'm not using... You know what, instead of continuing not to use a larger snap to reference, snap to grid, that's what I was looking for. Let's change it to one that's a bit bigger. I'm pretty sure I mentioned why I changed it. It was to get the house K kit to snap together properly. In case I didn't. I'm, like, pretty sure I did, though. Ah, did I forget to hit apply? I'm really good at this, I swear. Apply. Was. That's definitely not 32. Maybe it is 32. Feels a lot smaller than the 32 snapped grid, though. Oh well. Maybe it's just my imagination. Looks okay. Looks okay. Someone is gonna tell me later that all these houses are obviously copy-pasted and they're all the same. And they will be completely right. You can see that they are. This back street makes no fucking sense. I don't even know what to say about this. Maybe I should make it a mesh of residential and commercial houses, something like that. What do we think of that? I think that would be okay if back row... I already dislike that idea. That's something that happens to me quite a lot. I'll start like talking my way through an idea and I'll be like, wow, I really hate this. Anyway. Right, this is definitely within the residential area now, which I don't really want to impede upon. I think I should just get rid of these back houses, and perhaps what we can have here. I'm wondering if maybe I should open up and have this be its own bay where they can receive goods, that kind of thing. We could just delete these parts here and open up a gate there, a little pier. I think that might make sense. I think I'm okay with that, actually. Yeah. So we'll do that. That's why this will be empty. We'll have like some piers stretching out. And the idea will be that they don't really want people with goods going through the bay area, which is understandable. Because it's a bit of a shithole. It is a bit of a shithole. Okay, I'm glad that I've resolved that for myself. Let me see now. Maybe I should have some stalls. I don't know. I don't like the idea of there being stalls because I want this to be like a very prestigious area. You know, if you're shopping here, you have money. Right, now where do I want to put the sheriff's office? I think I want to put the sheriff's office here, and then the actual town hall will go there. And then I think it'll be okay to leave this open. We'll just put in, like, park-esque stuff. Although no trees. We can put any trees in. Just be lots of rocks and shit. I don't know. Are there any trees that grow in sand? Come to think of it. I wonder if an olive tree might. Because I'm fairly sure they grow in rocks. But now I have gone pretty far off on a tangent, so that's good. Now the question is, do I want to build the sheriff's office? It took a lot of willpower not to say a snowman. Anyway, do I want to build the sheriff's office out of this kit again, or make it something else entirely? I think I want to make it its own thing, to be honest, if I can find anything good. Like an old state house, perfect, yes, that's clearly what it needs to be. This wouldn't be too bad for the town hall, actually. Originally what I wanted to do for the town hall was a destroyed chapel. I quite like the multi-purpose of that. I like the idea of it being repurposed to serve... Don't look at that. Don't. How much better. Anyway. I liked the idea of it being repurposed. Oh, that's... doesn't have a floor. Good. I don't want to do... what I want to kind of... I try to avoid anyway. I'm pretty sure it'll be unavoidable in some circumstances. But what I would like to try to avoid is doing interiors. I know I've already mentioned interiors before, but to clarify, what I mean is the actual, using the actual world space interiors, which is where, I don't know, if you're in Diamond City and you go into your house when there's a loading screen and then suddenly you're inside, the interior cell is what I'm talking about trying to avoid. Because I like the fact that most of the stuff in the game now, it's not what I wanted to do, is all exterior. Like this entire town, I'm fairly sure doesn't have any interior cells, which I like a lot. I want to steal this. I want this to be the sheriff's office. Is that too small for the sheriff's office, maybe? What do we think? Is there a... no, there isn't. Okay. That is not at all what I thought I had selected. I realized watching back one of my streams that because of the way I have my audio set up, I'm the only one who can hear the warning noises. So, like for half the stream, I was just like, oh, there's a warning noise, and no one had any idea what I was talking about. It was great. Building. Why the fuck did I think of building? Alright, does this have a way in, or does it not? Because if it has a way in, I'd be quite happy to use it for... at least for a shop, if not for the sheriff's office. I think it's, again, I think it's entirely too residential looking. That's unfortunate. I was hoping that the wood paneling would be left behind. This is another House K kit, isn't it? Hey, House K. I did so much. It's starting to look like this probably is what we're gonna end up using for the town hall. Which doesn't make a lot of sense with all the things I've been saying about this place and how it works, but you know, you just have to roll with it. I'm slightly irritated at how many houses I'm finding don't have insides. I thought I would come over here and have a look at some of the stuff that's already been placed down rather than searching through over here without really knowing what I was looking for. This looks police station-y enough for me. What is it? Oh god, it's another House K, isn't it? Don't be. Deco, really? Huh. I was sure that this would not be... I was sure that deco stood for decorative and therefore without function. But maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. It's over here. What is this? This looks pretty ideal. Building G, shell brick corner wall. Oh my god, this is gonna take a while. Alright, well... remind myself. Shell. Let's go back to our city, instead of this clearly just terrible city that nobody likes. You might wonder why we're not moving. It's because I thought the GEC was lagging again, but it's not. So don't I feel like a fool. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Part of using this GEC feels like I have to fight with it for control. At least like 50% of the time. So apparently my houses are gone now. I'm not sure if they're suddenly gonna pop in or what. I'm reasonably sure that they're there. Yeah, there we go. GAC lag is real, ladies and gentlemen. It kills. Kills my enthusiasm. Alright. One thing I'm also considering is just getting rid of these and letting the wall be made of these crates. Which again is a little bit weird because it's like, hang on, I thought you said these people had resources and could build proper shit. And while you're right, I don't know. Let me see. What's this? How do you feel about this? That is a cube. Right. I'm getting a horrible feeling that Sheriff's Office is going to be like another thing where I have to spend like 3 parts making it because it's using a kit again. So I will leave that for another time and instead build a little bit more. The best thing about doing this is that I always think a very short amount of time has passed when in reality at least double that has gone by. So I always feel like, man, I can't cut off here because it's been so short, and then I look and I'm like, oh, it's been an hour. Okay. Which is fantastic. Anyway, that said, I don't want to build any more over here, because this is meant to be a that was me, like, fucking up. Sometimes my tongue just decides not to obey me anymore. Anyway, this is going to be a residential area, and there's an invisible wall, like, here-ish? So what I'm hoping to do is put in very tightly packed housing that the player just can't quite get past. And that'll be fine. Realistically, I'm going to have to put streets in, which I don't want to do. I want to just have like a wall of houses and be like, yeah, they're packly tight. They're packly tighted there. Perfect. Ugh. I used to be able to speak, you know. Those were good times. Right, I think I'll put the town hall in, which is basically going to be this, more or less. The LD Church. Okay. Is this one relatively pristine? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put them all side by side. Oh, excuse me. And we're gonna see which one we like. I don't want it to be too ornate, because while I want these people to have resources, I don't want them to... I just don't see people in a post-apocalypse, even with, you know, fairly modern resources. Modern resources, that's not quite right. With an abundance of resources, I don't see them wasting them on shit like this. I'm starting to wonder if I should change my tune and say that this has always been here, rather than being newly formed. Again, one of the great things about mods, you can just kind of change bullshit on the fly. This. Part of me wants to use this one, although I have a feeling that I probably shouldn't. Yeah, no, I should. Yeah, I don't think this one would work very well, considering that the front is apparently invisible. Right, okay, so that one's out. I think I'm gonna go with the one that doesn't have a steeple, since, as I say, it looks less ornate. I think both of them have fucked up roofs. I hate that, roofs. Why is the plural of roof? Why is there suddenly a V in there? Because it's not spelled that way either. You know, I won't go on that tangent. That tangent's gotta be, like, pretty fucking terrible, isn't it? Alright, so clearly there's gonna be some kind of interior kit that we're gonna have to use to flesh this out. Or, you know, by flesh it out, I mean put a floor in and shit. To have a floor. Anyway, I think I want to put this fairly near to the shops. I think we'll lower this a little bit. It should be okay. Maybe a little bit further. I think we'll smooth out the ground underneath it a bit. Hopefully. As I say, I have not been having the best of luck or success with the landscape editor and flattening things. But we'll see how this goes. No, it's having none of that. Fucking goddammit. One day, the gag will just work. It'll just work perfectly. That'll be a nice day. Actually, you know, by the advent, when that day comes around, no one will be playing Fallout 4 anymore. That's fine. I suppose realistically I could just kind of lower this as much as I want, since no one's gonna see it. Since there was a fucking church on top of it. Since there's a whole church on top of it. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to rework some of my lore, because a lot of these buildings make no fucking sense for what I've said. But that's fine. That's fine. Still like the idea of people coming from somewhere else and claiming this, but perhaps instead of them having built it themselves, it will have already been here. There's also a smoke monster somewhere, but, you know, we don't talk about that. There's no smoke monster. Boss doesn't even have a city. Or maybe it does. I still haven't seen Lost. Oh my. I'm glad that I have to manually flatten this. That's good. It'll keep me humble. I don't know how it'll do that, but it will. Okay. I think that should be fine. Oh. I'm trying to deselect it, I swear. Oh, it's because I have the landscape as well. There we go. Okay. Now what I need to do is figure out where the floor comes from. And to do that, we shall go over here. I have to say, I'm surprised at how many things in this game are built with kits. Oh. By the way, might be a Mirelurk Queen here. Is that a Mirelurk Queen? I can't even remember anymore. Looks like a Mirelurk Queen to me. Alright. So what's this floor? Alright. Let's go. Church Int. Alright, let's see. What's this? Oh wow, they have a whole interior for the church. That... now I feel like there isn't a kit at all. Oh well. Let me see. This is gonna be one of those things where, again, it doesn't, like, fit, and I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna shed a single tear, which you won't be able to hear or see, but I promise that tear will be shed, and, actually, does that fit together? Could you imagine if it just fit? If it just worked? Do people do still... People do still... I can't speak anymore. Do people still do Todd Howard jokes? Is that a thing? I don't know. Anyway. Moving on. That was a lot less painless than I expected it to be. I expected to be agonizing over this and being irritated by it, but that has not happened, so that's nice. If these cracks weren't here, I would not be considering reworking the lore of my little island city. Instead it would just be, I don't know, it was built by Canadians. For the record, that's more or less what I'm going with. I don't know, I want people to have come from a far off land to some extent. And I don't know, Canada feels good. Canada feels like it's just far enough away. Although, maybe it's too far away. I think this is what we need to put in there. Although I'm not entirely sure. Part of me wants to delete the exterior of the church while I do this. But I'm not entirely sure. Another part of me wants to just kind of block out the back of the church. Although I also kind of want to put the mayor in here somewhere. You know, to have the town hall and then the mayor's office up here. I feel like that makes sense, but maybe I'm crazy. Who knows? That said, I've actually only got one choice for stairs, so I guess we're using this. This is where I fail completely to line it up properly, and the whole thing falls apart. So it'll be great, man. Be an enjoyable time. One day I'll get used to this gag, and I'll be able to use it without much effort. And that's the day when the quality of my streams just increases by a surprising amount. People say, oh, yeah, alright. Okay. fine, hopefully. Apparently I need to put in some kind of a roof here. Of course I do. Why not? Let me make sure that it's not outside the building at all. It looks fine. Yeah. Part of me wants to have some kind of town hall meeting going on when you get into town. But I'm not convinced about that. I feel, no, I don't think I do want to do that. I think that's too much of, like, an event. It's too much of a standout thing to have happen. I would rather you kind of come in and things are normal, and then you can see people getting worked up about stuff later on. What is this? I don't know, it piqued my interest. Is this what I want? This might be what I want. Oh, excuse me. Let me see now. This looks fairly hopeful. I think I have it the wrong way around. Yeah, I do. Part of me is questioning why this is a thing, to be honest, because I've only got one option for all of this, so why is it not all kind of packaged inclusively? Why is this a kit that I have to build? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, and there are in fact other options that are either named differently or unreleased. Yucca World, it's just a lot of church blocks. Aw, yeah. I mean, it's not impossible, I suppose, but a bit weird. So this is where I would sit the mayor. I could have his desk here. Some paintings on the wall. I already dislike that idea because I want him to have a secretary. I could put the secretary's desk here, and then you could have a really long walk over here, and we could put him in the attic, which has even less room. In fact, this isn't even an attic, is it? It's a fucking bell tower. Okay, maybe what I could do is use some planks or something. No, I don't think that would work. I was gonna suggest perhaps putting another floor in here with parts from another kit, which honestly is never a good idea, but, you know. Good. Anyway, better yet, you know what? I'll put the mayor in here, right? I'll put him here or here, and I'll have the secretary's desk be like here. So he's like very clearly, you can see him behind his desk doing nothing, and his secretary will be like, nah, he's busy. You have to fuck off. That would be fantastic. Actually, maybe I can build like an artificial room using pieces from another kit. It's already a bad idea. I think what I'm gonna have to do is instead leave this as a town hall in its own right. It doesn't have anything extra going on, and create a separate abode for the mayor. And by abode, I mean office, because, you know, I think that'll be fine. Again, though, I don't want to use the house kit anymore. I'm done with that. I've had enough. I kind of want to, like, stick it here, though. Like, have it right next to the town hall. Which seems like an awful idea already. Okay, I think what we're going to do is leave that as it is. So what we've got now is a town hall, some shops. Sure, that's what they are. They are shops. We'll put signs up. It'll look nice. Again, signs will be, like, decorative stuff, both interior and exterior, will be done after we've laid the foundations of each area. Speaking of which, I think this is probably going to be the smallest area. Since this is probably all going to be done in a one-shot. And again, these borders are just kind of for my own... I should explain everything. That mouse movement, that explains it. The borders are just kind of for me to know what's going on. But I think this will probably end up being the smallest area. There will be a larger ring of residential separating the Produce Guild and the Sheriff's Office. I think we can probably get onto that next time. So in reality, the borders have kind of changed from... Did I just close that picture? Good. Good. That's fine. There we go. So in reality, it's kind of changed from being here to sort of being like that, kind of. Which is fine, I think. I think that's okay. I'm trying to decide... Problem is, I now have this with a whole lot of nothing in it. I'm not entirely sure what to put back there. I suppose I could just cover it in houses, in residential housing. You know what? If you guys have any ideas for what I should put in here, feel free to suggest a way. I think probably what'll end up happening is that this will become part of the commercial dock that will spring up here. And then I might put a warehouse or something there, unless somebody has a better idea, which would be fantastic, honestly. So there could possibly be warehouses here, and then from there, that'll kind of bleed into the residential district, which will come around along here, probably. Kind of like that, and then down here will be the Produce Guild and stuff. It's just the Produce Guild, there's nothing else that's gonna... That's what this area will be. With that said, I have run out of time for this evening. This is a later stream than I normally do. Normally I do it quite early in the morning. However, as I keep mentioning, my sleeping schedule is terrible. So this is a bit of a shorter stream in comparison to the other ones. While I haven't placed much, hopefully I've fleshed things out a little bit more. At least conceptually. I hope so anyway. I think probably the final word on the lore is that I've changed my mind from this being a sandbar created by nuclear explosions. Part of the reason I wanted to have this as an entirely new island was because I'm reasonably sure there's nothing like this in Austin. That's where the game is set, I remembered. But that's fine. We can just, you know, it's an alternate history. It sprang up some other time. I do still want it to be a sandbar, but I think it can be a pre-war kind of sandbar. And this can be a mostly pre-war settlement. We'll change these for shacks. This will stay as it is because it's kind of semi-funded by the rich people. And yeah, I think that's about all I have to say, and about all I have time for. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed watching. If you did enjoy watching, streams are live sometime on Friday, usually in the mornings, sometimes very late in the evenings. I am operating on a GMT time zone, so kind of like early morning GMT, meaning sort of 8 a.m. Usually it's between 8 and 10 a.m. Or like today, it was at fucking 9 p.m. You can see my clock. You can see what time it is for me. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Oh, there's a Twitter thing now that you can follow to have a little Twitter thing telling you when the stream will go live 15 minutes before. There's a YouTube video that goes up on my account. I'm Jojash everywhere, I believe. I think I might be Jojash Streams on Twitter. That's about it. Hope you enjoyed. Again, if you have any comments or suggestions, anything, feel free to say. Feel free to come and watch the stream live and say as I'm building this. I will do my best to respond to you, but I've not been streaming for very long, so I may be bad at chat interaction. But I'll do my best, I promise. Anyway, thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I like repeating that because it sounds nice. I hope you have a good day.